everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. Whew, the House of the Dragons. You all, I wish I would have reviewed this from the beginning. I love this show. I knew I would have loved this show. I knew I wanted to talk about this show. But everyone who loves Angie, and I know you all do, y'all know I will mess up people's names. I don't say the words correctly. But I feel like you all love me anyway. So, girl, you should have done this from the beginning. But I'm just going to talk about it for a little while. I'm not going to keep you long. I appreciate if you get in the chat, get in the comments. Let me know what you thought about the episode. I know I'm picking it up at episode 7, but I'm going to rock with y'all to the end of this. And I'm going to be on it season 2. Now, episode 7, this episode was pretty much all about the kids. The kids were acting up, the cousins were fighting. So I'm going to skip over a lot of scenes. I don't want to talk about every little detail. I just want to talk about what I thought was amazing in the episode. And then we can get into it for a little bit. And like I said, I won't hold you long. We open up the episode with the funeral. Y'all know, y'all can also hear me talk about not Game of Thrones, but House of the Dragons on Twitter. Usually my friend Betty Sheena will do, let me turn this on, do not disturb. We'll do a House of Dragons spaces on Twitter, and I'm usually there. But last week, y'all know I was a little upset that Lena passed away. I felt like it was too soon, but I feel like it's a lot more story to tell. Let's go. So we're at her funeral. The sea people, because I done already messed up their name, the Valerians give their bodies back to the water where the Targaryens burn their bodies. So they gave Lena's body back to the water. They had a little repast. It was cute. All of Westeros was there. All the family was supposed to be grieving. The king tried to make up with Daemon, but Daemon was like, what we gonna make up for so you can banish me again? And the king was like, I just want family around, but we gonna see how much you want family around once we get to the end of this episode, King. We're gonna see. And then, what's the name? Her name is not Raina. The princess. The princess is telling her kids to, go comfort your cousin over there. And he was like, my daddy just died. And she was like, shut up, boy. You don't say what goes on in the house outside of the house. That ain't nobody business. That ain't none of your daddy. Your daddy over there crying in the middle of the ocean. Go over there and comfort your cousins. So the cousins, hold hands, and that's the setup. It's going to be Daemon's and Rhaenyra's kids. I can't wait till these kids grow up and I can see the action that's going to go down between these kids. But that was the beginning of Daemon's and Rhaenyra's, kids, cousins bonding over the grief of the loss of their parents. And then, we see the Bumblebee man. I don't forgot his name, but he's supposed to be like the little finger of the show, staring at the queen like, bitch, I killed these people for you. You better not forget about me. Because Kriston is all concerned. He's staring at you, queen. What's going on? And she was like, oh, it ain't nothing. We see the queen's father is back. He is now the hand of the king again. Great. I can't wait to see how this plays out. Like, this episode was really a setup, I think, for next week, but it was still really good. But let's move on past this repass because not a lot happened. The next big scene I want to talk about is the sea snake. I believe his name is Corallis, and the queen that never was. I don't know her name. If you know it, put it in the comments or put it in the chat. They're having a conversation about pretty much who's going to take over the sea, because they're like pretty much the navy of Westeros. They got all the ships and everything. And they want to give it, the sea snake wants to give it to Rhaenyra's oldest son, because he was like, Laenora's going to be the king once the real king died. He going to be the king whatever by marriage. So we might as well give it to the older son and let him rule Rhaenys. Is it Rhaenys? I thought her name was Rhaenyra. I'm telling you, this is why I don't like to review this because I know a lot of you are real serious about the names, and I don't never get the names right. But anyway, oh, that's the queen that never was named Rhaenys. I'm just gonna call her the queen that never was. But anyway, she was like, them some bastards. Them ain't none of our grandkids. We ain't about to get them take over the Valerian Island and the sea and all that. Them ain't none of our sons' kids, our grandkids. And so he's like, look, we about to I think he really want to hook up Lena's kids with Rhaenyra's kids. And he like, blood don't mean nothing. In the books of history, all we remember our names. And then I thought about it and I was like, he just said a word. And not just the Game of Thrones word, but he said a real life word. Like these people back in the day, if we think centuries ago, when they really were into kings and queens and the succession and all of that stuff, they didn't have any DNA tests back then. People could walk up and be like, he want none of his daddy. We want him to be the king. And bam, they the king if they felt like it. We don't know. They really did not have DNA back then. Anybody could have been sitting on them thrones. We don't know because everybody was messing around, screwing around. So you right, Corliss, Sea Snake. Blood don't mean nothing. All we care about is the name. And those kids are Valerians and Targaryens. And that's all anybody needs to know. Now to the trifling part of the episode. Rhaenyra. This man just pushed his wife into the ocean. I mean, maybe just an hour ago. And y'all have to go sneak off and screw. And you wondering if he loved her. Did you really love her? Well, she made me happy. Well, Damon, you ain't answered. Did you love her or not? Because a lot of things make me happy. That don't mean I love it. I think Damon did really love her. But I think Damon's mind has always been focused on power and a way to get back into power. And once his second wife was gone, it's kind of like, well, let me try again. I mean, he seemed to push Rhaenyra away when she started pushing up on him, wanting to kiss and rub. And look, I know a lot of y'all don't like the incest of the show. We knew it was coming. We knew Game of Thrones, all of that. Because I believe at the repast, we learned that Aegon and his sister are betrothed to each other. Look, I'd rather marry my uncle than my brother or sister. I think uncle is a little bit further removed than siblings. So I ain't mad at Rhaenyra. I like the bad guys of the show, people with a little bit of spice, a little villain. I like Damon. So she finally got to test it out. She waited a good 10 years to test out what she missed at that brothel. I think Damon knew what he was doing. But we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, while the parents are on the beach screwing around, the youngest Targaryen, is his name Adon? The little brother, the little blonde haired boy. He need a nickname. I'm gonna come up with one for him. I'm thinking he peeking over the hill at his, I guess, aunt and uncle or sister and uncle screwing around, but no, he peeking at dragons. It's Edmund or Aemond. Aemond. Okay, I can remember Aemond because I got Aegon. So Aemond. All right. Aemond is peeking at the dragons. And he over there want to touch and rub on the dragon. And he getting ready to Darkarish your ass. You getting ready to get set on fire. Leave these dragons alone. But the dragon was like, he know all the dragon words, so I guess I'm gonna rock with him. He know how to talk to me, so I'm gonna rock with him. And he let him ride him, and he almost flew off his back, but he held on for dear life. He rode the dragon, so now Lena's dragon is now Aemon's dragon. I'm a little bit upset about that because I wanted that dragon to go to one of her daughters because I believe one of the daughters' egg has never hatched. And so she's waiting to become a dragon rider herself. But Amon said, you snooze, you lose. Closed mouths don't get fed. You up there crying, and I'm down here getting a dragon. So anyway, the sisters wake up and like, who that on my mama dragon? So they run downstairs and grab their little cousins and was like, somebody done stole a dragon. It's on and popping. So it's on and popping, and they see it's Amon. And Amon is like, look, I know your mama just died, but I don't have a dragon either. And you should have been claimed the dragon. You ain't claiming I did. Oh, well. And I'm like, damn, she can't even push her mama into the sea for 24 hours. It hasn't even been 24 hours. The repast just was the day before. And you not even going to give her 24 hours to claim the dragon? Like, damn, Amon, you cold-blooded. But then it got set off. I forgot how it got set off, but I know the little sister walked up and was like, bap, and then he pushed the one to the side, and then the older sister, are they twins? Because on the Twitter spaces, they said those girls were twins, but they could be like the two separate egg twins because they don't look nothing alike. But anyway, the bigger sister came up and punched the shit out of Amon. And then, oh, Angie, you say you was going to stop cursing as much. I'm going to stop. And then he was like, I fight girls. And he punched the older sister. And now it's on and popping because now the little cousins jump in. Oh, they are twins in the book. Hey, Eric. Okay. So they just aren't identical twins. Okay. One is bigger than the other one. I have not read the books, if you all can't tell. I just love the show. So then it's on and popping. They fighting, but Amon can't handle his own. He was like, Kriston been teaching me how to fight. Y'all not gonna bully me. And so then I think at some point, Amon called them bastards because he was like, your daddy dead. That's why your daddy dead. And he was like, the little bro, I know the little ones, it's Jace and Luke. Now, I know they got some Westeros names, but Rhaenyra gave them nicknames, and thank you, girl. Luke was like, my daddy ain't dead. He down there crying in the ocean. I'm over his sister. And he was like, bitch, your daddy is dead. You a bastard. And so then all the cousins jumped him, which y'all should have did from the beginning. I don't know why y'all was trying to fight one-on-one. Y'all should have all jumped him from the beginning and stole the dragon. And so then one of the brothers was getting him good, and he had grabbed a rock, and he was like, I'm the king's son. I'm getting ready to kill one of y'all. And so Luke threw some sand in Amon's face, and he got all distracted. And then that's when Jace sliced him. And I said, ooh, these kids are ruthless. Y'all are cousins acting up. No talking aloud. But see, look, I'm going to give Amon this much. I'm going to give him this much of a pass because y'all bullied him. Y'all made fun of him all last week. Y'all beat up on him last week. Y'all gave him a pig for a dragon and was like, aha, that's why you ain't got shit to ride. So I don't really blame him for getting his. And you can only bully people for so long before they turn into bullying you. Or not even bullying you, but they snap. And this was Amon's time to snap. So I guess one of the guards must have came and got him, took him upstairs. All the parents is like, what's going on here? You know, it reminds you of Game of Thrones when Arya beat up the king with that fake sword stick and everybody had to come in and he ended up killing the wolves or whatever. So we in here and they yelling and all the kids yelling. And then here come Rhaenyra and Damon. Damon in the back laughing at him like he think everything funny. And Rhaenyra's like, what's going on? My kids look beat up. And so she asked Luke, the youngest one, what's going on? And he was like, they said I was a bastard and that my daddy died in a house fire. What's going on? And so, you know, Rhaenyra in her feelings. But that take me back to the first scene of the episode. Even the sea snake's brother, I don't know his name, called it. He was shading Rhaenyra in the eulogy. Like we like blood over here, blood over water over here, and we know them ain't none of our kin. They've been shading Rhaenyra for 2 episodes over these kids. But anyway, she about to have some blonde hair kids with her husband in the next speed up of time, I'm sure. But anyway, let's move on. So Rhaenyra come in and tell her daddy, look, they in here calling my kids bastards and questioning their birthright. Like, these are your future kings right here. So I need some respect. Who talking about my kids? And so, the king, for whatever reason, it's clear he loves Rhaenyra more than them other kids he got with Alicent, because he don't take up for them at all. And he said, okay, Aemon, because Aemon holding up his eyeball and he done got stitches all up and down his face. Okay, Aemon, where you hear this tea from? Who told you this? And Aemon looking at his mama, but then he lied and said Aegon said it. But Aegon is like the drunk. He was out drunk, kind of like Tyrion, just getting drunk, screwing all the people at the brothel. So Aegon was like, look, Dad, look at them, look at me. Look at them, look at Damon's kids. These kids, something here don't belong. And just look, everybody know it. And so the king got mad and was like, look, anybody else question Rhaenyra's kids, daddy, and say they ain't Targaryens, that's y'all asses. Y'all, you're getting killed. Fight Daenerys to y'all asses if you question it one more time. So then Alicent was like, hold up. I've been reading the Bible and I need an eye for an eye. Because my son just ain't going to have one eye. She said, look, Rhaenyra, I'll respect you enough and at least let you pick which kid get to lose an eye, but one of them eyeballs gone. And so Rhaenyra was like, bitch, please, I wish you would touch one of my kids. So then the king is like, I made my decision. And so Alicent was like, look, Kriston, you my guard. You answer to me. Go take one of them eyes. And then Rhaenyra looked at Kriston and was like, bitch, I wish you would. If you do, I'm going to tell that you fucked me 10 years ago, and then that's off with your head. And so Kriston was kind of like, look, this ain't got nothing to do with me. Alicent, that's on you. And so Alicent was like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. She grabbed that knife and was like, one of them eyeballs coming out. And then Rhaenyra, called her and was like, look, you showing yourself. See, everybody thought you was just quiet and sweet. But see, I have a soft spot for Alicent too, because she never got to live the life she wanted to live. Like Rhaenyra got to go off and have all the sex she wanted with whoever she wanted. And Alicent was stuck with this old man with one arm and scales all over his back. She never got to live any kind of life that she wanted. So Alicent sliced up Rhaenyra's arm real quick and they let it go. And the king said, that's enough. Y'all let this shit go and I don't want to hear of it no more. We're going to see how much they let it go. I don't think it's over. Because them twins want their dragon back. But then Aemon look at his mama and look, Ma, it ain't even worth all this smoke. They can have that. I got the dragon. I got the biggest dragon of the land. So forget what they talking about. And then later on the boat, Alicent's daddy was like, look, this is a prize. Like I can't remember the name of Laena's dragon, but he's supposed to be the biggest dragon in the land. So they just came up on a really big weapon. So he could still see. He still got one good eye, girl. Y'all should have sliced both of them eyes. You can't fly a dragon with no eyes. But anyway, here come Laenor. After everything that went down, we know he with his boo thing, off to the side. Vhagar. Okay, Vhagar is the biggest dragon in the land. Yes. So he with his boo thing off to the side, and he was like, look, I wish I should have been here with these kids so they wouldn't have been over here acting up. I should have taught their asses how to fight so they wouldn't have to slice people's eyes out. I'm sorry. Yeah, you should have taught them kids something, but then again, them ain't your kids. They let us know, because I said it last week. I said, Rhaenyra should have found at least one time to have sex with her husband and have a a curly haired, yellow haired baby. But I guess they tried to have sex. And if you really not into women, you not gonna really get it up. Never, nonetheless, ejaculate if that ain't your thing. Like, he's into men, so Rhaenyra just never did it for him. So it is what it is. She wasn't too mad. She was like, we tried, and this was our arrangement. It is what it is. But again, Rhaenyra, you could have found you a little blonde headed King's Guardsman to have a couple of babies with, so at least you could play it off a little bit better than these dark haired, curly haired boys. I don't know. But anyway, moving on. What happened next? Because the last thing I want to talk about, because I don't want to be here too long, is the arrangement at the end of the episode. We see Rhaenyra and Daemon plotting and scheming up a marriage. And it was like, yeah, I want to marry you, Daemon. And he was like, look, I would marry you, what's her name, Rhaenyra, but Lenore gotta die. And she was like, I don't know about killing my husband. They gonna think we cruel. And it was like, look, kill him in public. Let it be a couple of witnesses. And it ain't too bad. And I'm like, damn, he just pushed his sister in the water. And now you want the sea snake and the queen that never was to push their last child in the water as well. Like, y'all cold-hearted. But we see they talking about, well, yeah, let's do it, because they gonna think we did it anyway. So let's go ahead and do it. They gonna hate us and they gonna fear us. And ain't nothing worse than fear. People gonna love fear because they gonna get in line. So I'm like, oh, they cold-blooded. And then we see Daemon pay off the little side piece to kill his man. And then they come in there and they sword fighting it up. And they say, oh, go get the King's Guard because they ain't here having a lover's quarrel. And they sword fighting it up. And then we see Lenore's torso to head in the fire. And I said, oh, damn, y'all cold-blooded. I'm like, man, y'all gonna make them have 2 repasses in 1 week. That's But then in the next scene, we see Daemon and Rhaenyra getting married in their Westeros way. And it ain't that, I said at least she could have some yellow hair babies now. At least it'll be some Targaryens running around the household. And now the cousins are going to be brother and sister. They didn't even show a little Joffrey. Where's Joffrey this episode? But anyway, I can't wait to see how Joffrey grows up. I hope he the one that can fight. Because Luke and Jace need some work. Because they gonna lose the throne, Rhaenyra, if you leave it to them. They need to learn how to fight. At the end of the episode, we see Lenore is not dead. He just shaved off all his locks, and he's in the boat with his man, and he can get to go live his true life. He can't be gay and I guess a noble. Like, he can't be the new king of Westeros with Rhaenyra and be happy, because he really wants to be with his boo thing to the side. So he was like, I'd rather just fake my death and go off and live my life. It's sad that he had to do that, but it is what it is. At least he's not dead. I can't wait to see what happens next week. I feel like we might get through the end of season 1. I ain't read the books. Don't spoil it for me. I feel like we're going to get through the end of season 1 without seeing Lenore again. He's going to go live his best life. But I feel like somewhere down the line, he's going to pop back up and mess some stuff up for Rhaenyra. Because they're going to be like, bitch, your husband ain't dead. And you over here with your uncle. I feel like he going to mess some stuff up for Rhaenyra. And he going to pop up season 2 sometime. Don't tell me if I'm right or wrong. I'm just guessing. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for coming by and let me talk about the House of the Dragons. I will be doing this every Monday until the season is over. And I wish I would have started episode 1. Y'all got me right in the chat because I'm so bad with the names. And I don't take notes. I'm talking off my head. But I love this show so much. Like, this show, I love it so much. Go over on Twitter if you don't follow me on Twitter, Kiss My Cheeks TV. You can catch me in a space tomorrow night talking about House of Dragons as well. I'll be on the Twitter Spaces. And I do all my good tweeting and everything. And go ahead. I appreciate if you would like this video for me. And your girl Angie is about to get back into scripted TV. I'm a little bit over reality shows, not the competition ones. I still do Survivor. I still do The Challenge, Big Brother, all of that. But a lot of the other reality shows I'm over. So I kind of want to get back into talking about scripted television, just good TV that have better talking points than the mess they doing over there on Bravo and OWN. But anyway, no shade to them. Love House of Dragons. Love Game of Thrones. I will be talking about Jon Snow when he comes back on New Year's Eve. We're going to have a good time. Thank you all so much for coming over. I'll see y'all next Monday if you want to hear me talk about it again. But until then, I'm about to go relax after this long work day, and I hope y'all have a good day as well. Bye.